is going on, everybody? My name is Wadi the Crypto Hunter. How's everyone doing today? Hope you guys had a great weekend. Mine was spectacular. Can't complain. Went to the beach, get some sun, enjoy the view. So basically today I am just gonna talk a little bit about Bitcoin. I am waiting for my guest actually, and it is going to be a conversation about what's going on with the market and everything else. MK in the house, what's going on, bro? Let me see. Fiverr in the house, how are you? Thank you for being here, guys. Always appreciate the love and the support you guys give me. So, in the meantime, I am just going to chill and talk. Let me see what is going on. Give me 1 second. Um, t- 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 Okay. All right. Let me just make sure. Then one of my buddies 131K on Alaska Lotto. He spent 200 on tickets. What? That is cool. That is cool. All right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my guest has arrived. 21 million in the house. What's going on, bro?
What up? Why can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I
My
hear
bad, man. How's everything
you,
going today,
bro.
bro?
How's everything, man? Good?
Good, man. My bad, man. I was a couple of minutes late, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I was looking forward to it, man. Actually, I had a couple people refer, like, dude, I would love to hear you on space with my guy Wadi and just see what's going on. I was like, bro, currency talk, whatever it might be. I see you got the chart up already. So, what were you have talking about right now, man?
No, I was just saying hi and I was just shooting a message to you. I was like, bro, I'm already live.
Might be. Yeah, oh man, you know how it is sometimes, bro. I'm usually a couple minutes late anyway. But I gotta be better on that, especially in the YouTube. I like to what is this? Yeah, StreamYard. That's one
Yeah,
thing I gotta get.
StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm not on YouTube enough, and I'm trying to kind of just establish myself more on there. Just having a space, because I think that the importance of having a saved space on Twitter, things especially with mine, gets so fluttered. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to see what space I have going on when I had the space and. This is pretty cool, man. But again, thanks for having me up, bro. I appreciate the time, man.
No, bro. Actually, thanks for reaching out to me. And, you, basically, you're like a celebrity in Twitter, bro. So when you reach out to me, I was like, ah! So I appreciate that, bro.
No, I appreciate that, man. And I will say, bro, I seen you. I was gonna ask you what time zone you were. I was like, bro, my guy's in the Bronx as well. What the hell? I was like, no doubt, man. There's not many people that are from New York City, especially that are on here, man. A lot of people either moved out from the Bronx, but it's one thing I even told the guys from Kronos. I was like, man, the country where I'm from, and I'm from the Bronx, so you guys are even lucky I'm on CDC in Kronos. Like how I ended up here, I don't know, but either way, man, it's definitely a good time, bro. So.
So
Yeah, you know how it
basically,
is, man.
I say you know how to survive in the jungle, then.
Yeah, the concrete jungle, man. That's what I tell you what, though. If you can live in the Bronx, man, you can live anywhere, bro. We're crazy for any type of setting, all types of people. Very fast paced, man. It's one of those things even on here. You know, you have think about that global setting. It really is, in the sense, of business hub, just a hub of fashion, anything you can think of, right? They say the mecca of basketball of the entire world. So you talk about life from all types of places on Earth. On the same streets, man, you have all types of levels of money, class, whatever it might be. So it's quite just incredible, man. But 100%, bro. And shout out to the Yankees, man. I hope you're a Yankee. You have to be, bro. I know I saw.
Yeah, I mean, bro,
You're
come
a
on.
Yankee fan or
Like,
not?
even if I wanted to say no, that's like a suicide mission right there. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a big
bro. I
fan
have.
of the
Talk to me.
Yankees.
Talk to
So,
me.
huh?
Yeah,
Uh,
man. I have a couple of my boys though, especially my friends from uptown, man. All my Dominican friends are Boston Red Sox. You know, you have Manny Ramirez, Big Papi. There's a lot of names, man, that came over there. So I'd be like, bro, how could you be so close to the stadium and be a Red Sox fan? But of course, you got DR, man. So it is what it is. But either way, we love the sport, man, and whatever team it is, man, it is fun. But the Yankees, bro, is the one team that being from the Bronx, I really care about. I support some teams, but Yankees ones we gotta watch.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I kind of like, I wouldn't say that I dropped the ball with watching the games and stuff, but like everybody used to tell me, especially when I take this haircut, oh, you look like you're related to Jeter. You look like you're related to Jeter. I'm like, how the heck is that even possible? But all right, man. Hey, they play good games. They have won a lot of championships pretty much, and man, they whoever doesn't go for the Yankees is like, then what team do you really go for? Mind you, I am Dominican too. So everybody's like, oh, you're supposed to go for this, you're supposed to go for that. One other team, I believe, is the Eagles, Las Aguilas over there. And it's like, eh, I'm good.
Well, yeah, that's why I brought it up because of course I saw your name, man. But definitely, like I said, man, it's just either way, a good time, bro. And once I saw that, man, I knew right away it would be a good space. So, like I said, man, as much as you felt the same way, man, I am as well because I can't wait to kind of see, what thoughts we either have similar, what thoughts we have different, and just everything else, man. So, I mean, do you mind if I'm the one that's in the AMA spot, we're both kind of talking. Do you mind if I ask you a question, man? For you, what is it really? You more into Bitcoin? We got a White Sox fan here. Shouts to my guy MK2000. You was it Bitcoin or which one are you mostly into, man? When it comes to the different chains or different cryptos?
Well, it's funny because I was actually going to ask you a few questions, which is how you got into crypto. But okay, step back.
uh,
Um, I'll go first. I got into cryptocurrency, bro, because as you can see, I have a disability called Charcot-Marie-Tooth, and basically, I tried looking for jobs and everything. That didn't work out for me too good. I hate living under the system. Not really my thing. I know everybody's like, "Oh my God, you should be grateful. You're getting a free
yeah,
check. You don't got to do crap." But that's not for me.
yeah,
Not judging anybody is just not for me. So I started researching and learning about investments, and cryptocurrency came up. I did once go to, how can you say it? I went to a bad place of cryptocurrency, which was
yeah.
somebody that, yeah.
I got you
Um,
for sure.
no, somebody was like coming up to me. He's like, "Oh man, you're such a great guy, and I know you've been looking for a job. I got the perfect job for you. You don't have to do anything but recruit people." I'm like,
Oh yeah.
really? So, long story short, bro, it was a pyramid scheme. I fell for it. I got scammed, and so did my whole team. So after that, um, I was just looking at a lot of YouTubers, and I'm like, man, what they're doing, it's so simple. It's something that I already know how to do, which is talk about crypto. And I figure, you know what? I could do this for two reasons. One, I could help other people so they won't fall for what I fell for. And two, I could start making an income for myself. Obviously, if I said Bluetooth, my YouTube channel blows up. And hey, bro, that's basically my goal. I mean, I love talking about cryptocurrency. At times, it's very awkward because I feel like that's the only thing like I could actually have a conversation with other people about. I don't know if you ever felt that way. And then when you're the only one that really has the knowledge about crypto, it's like, bro, like you just grew a second head or something.
Well, for me, you said what was it for crypto? What was the last part? My bad.
It was what?
What did you say? What? I just didn't hear that. It cut out the last part. What was the last? What was what for crypto? My introduction, you said, or
Oh no,
yours? You
no.
saying yours?
I was just saying that. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically that's how
yeah.
I started
Well,
crypto and everything. And what about you?
for me, man, I'll get into it first. I'll comment. It's actually funny because, um, you know, the reason I started my account was because I felt like there were so many people who were just going out and scamming people and not putting out the right information.
Yeah.
So I'll actually start, man, a long time ago. I'll give a little breakdown if you don't mind, bro. The first time I actually came across windy out here, bro. First time I came across Bitcoin, man. I was actually in high school. I hit $1, bro. I did not buy it for anybody who gets like mad excited, but my uncle was like, bro, like there's this thing called Bit something, it's some kind of internet money. A bunch of people made a lot of money on it. Like put $1,000 into it, buy 1,000 Bitcoin, like just hold for a long time, and for something worth something. F it, he goes $1,000, you know. At the time, I just didn't understand it, nothing, you know. So in 2014, I went back to my home country, and Ether had just come out. It was Ethereum, but the name was Ether. It was literally came out in 2013. So this 2014 summer, all my cousins are talking about, you know, mining Ether, mining Bitcoin. So when I got back here, my understanding I was trying to make with this was more of like how to mine it, right? I didn't really understand like the, I guess, currency side of it, the importance of a lot of things with Bitcoin and Ethereum. My thing was like trying to understand how to set up miners, and because I had no idea, I kind of gave up on it. Come 2017, that summer, I go back home. Everybody's like, bro, like, you know, if anyone remembers, like 2016, excuse me, January 2017, I think. So like that summer had a huge increase and it kind of died down a little bit right before the huge pump. So when I got back here to the States, man, in 2017, like that fall, I was like, yo, like I got to get into this. Now I'm full send basically in my university for my degree in finance. So I'm like, bro, like I can do this, you know? I have understanding. I've done pretty well in the stock market. Let me see what's going on. And I get into Bitcoin, man. Like a lot of people during that time, I obviously made a lot of money. Also lost a lot of money. You know what I mean? And I always say, man, those euphoric feelings of like making mad money, think you're smarter than the market. You feel the complete opposite when you just don't know, right? And that was one of those things, man. You talk about like, you know, I was working 2, 3 jobs to get through school, and you talk about losing like most of your life savings at a young age after you just felt the beauty or the feelings of going up. So definitely a couple of years of depression, man. And during that time, like it was just me kind of being hard on myself, like beating myself down, like thinking, damn, I'm late in this. But then like still taking the time to learn like what is Bitcoin, why is it important? Like when the white papers were posed in 2008, like what was so important about that time? Because the only thing they told my university was like, yo, like how important the 2008 collapse was, you know, the impact it had. And it was literally so fresh. We're talking about a couple of years after, less than 10 years after at the time, you know, just around 10 years. So um, it's just one of those things where as I got into it, you know, I got into crypto, you know, was slowly doing my thing. And then last year, man, I made it to the 20th year anniversary game, 9/11 in Queens, bro.
Nah.
And you know where City Island is?
Yeah, yeah, of course,
All
bro.
right. So yeah,
You're sending me right now.
yeah. No, it's not. Are you serious? That's
Well,
actually go- wow, that's gold, man. So all right, so I won't dox too much.
no, no, it's
That's
going joke,
crazy.
man.
So I'm on the one of the islands right facing the city, and I'll never forget that summer, man, because that summer my mom kept pointing out like look at the Twin Towers, and you know I'm 6 years old this time. I remember being like, Mom, like why do you keep pointing it out? Like I've seen it every day, you know. And that day I'll never forget like looking and just seeing a huge cloud over like South Manhattan. So the fact that my brother and I weren't even supposed to be in that game and ended up there, and we had to like I'd never like purchased really, you know how, bro, $10 tickets all day long. You know what I mean? So for the 20th year anniversary, you know, I was like, bro, like I'm not even supposed to be in Queens right now. We're not supposed to be here. Like I got tickets that were 18th rows behind the Mets dugout. So everybody's Mets fans except for me, my brother, and one other guy who sat next to us. It just happened to be also from the Bronx, of course, you know. So everybody that day, man, like when I say the vibe, the energy of not just the stadium, but the vibe my brother and I brought to that like section was just something that I can't explain. You know what I mean? And like everything kind of just made sense. And you know, you fast forward like maybe not even a month later, man. You know, I just had a lot of things going on in my life, right? Like financially, you know, I didn't know. I really didn't care for NFTs. And a friend of mine who's in art was trying to ask me, and I was like, damn, I'm only a couple of years removed from college, right? And I can't even explain anything about NFTs, and I didn't like it, so I didn't look into it. But how ignorant of me, and you know, I mean, dumb in a sense, like to not actually look into this stuff. So when I created this page, man, it was nothing more than just to do the right thing, put the right information out, right, and just kind of see how I can learn as well. And it's been one hell of a ride, man. I say from like the first month, I had like maybe 20 followers. The next one was like 1,000. The next one, obviously, just you know, kept going from there. So uh,
Jeez.
hopefully, not too long of an answer, man. But I, you know, wanted to give that breakdown for everybody that's in
No,
here,
no, no, no.
especially
It's
for you too,
perfectly
bro.
fine, man. Look, man. I mean, you told me you got a space around 6, so we could give time, man. It's all right.
Cool,
And
cool.
I believe it's also important for people to know, you know, like you actually have a degree and everything. And bro, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Everything I know, everything I learned is self-taught. I didn't, you know, get the chance to, um, well, first of all, in my opinion, when somebody tells you, oh, spend $1,000 for trading classes and we're gonna teach you how to become the best trader. Honestly speaking, mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't believe in it, bro. I feel like trading, and I don't know if you actually tried it or you are into it, but I realized that trading, bro, is more by instinct and experience. Like the more time you spend in the market, the better you get at it. The more you know your asset, the better you get at it. And the more you're able to determine when is it gonna pump, when is it gonna dump, and what's gonna happen next. So overall, no offense to anybody, you know, selling courses out there and everything, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing I was saying earlier, man. In the Bronx, you know, think about how many people come up to you on a day-to-day basis. Like anybody that's trying to sell you something, like, what do you want? You know what I mean, like, why do you need my money? You know, in a sense. So that's kind of how I've been from the beginning, man. And even you see the partnership I made recently with Argo. It's one of those things where I didn't want to do just anything for money. You know, I didn't figure when the time would come. I did not think it would be like this, man. Like I said, this like 1 year ago today, 21 million wasn't even a thought. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the impact I've had just on many people's lives around the world, to me, is just crazy, to say the least, man. You know?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to pull out your page over here. And so you guys can also see what I was saying. You know, 21 million, for those that don't know, is actually a celebrity type in the Twitter spaces. So, and it's funny too because when I saw you follow me, I'm like, really? This guy got like 20,000 followers, and I'm just the new kid in the block. So, um,
Well, to tell you the truth, man, that's the thing. The word like celebrity is not really something because to me, like one of the things I've done more and more as the time is as I've grown. I said it before when I first started. I didn't want to make it seem like I don't belong to be at this stature, right? But at the same
yeah,
time, as I grow like larger, I want people to know I'm a regular human being that goes through regular emotions. Like when I hear you, I've heard you speak before. That's the reason I followed you. You know what I mean? So many people get surprised sometimes. Like when I follow someone with not a lot of followers, I'm like, well, I remember what it was like, man, to, NG Darrow was a guy who was a Crypto.com ambassador. When I had like a few, like 100 followers, would just go and retweet my stuff like 20 plus a day. And because of all my tweets were just either like numbers, information of like facts of cryptos or Bitcoin, or just like an engagement tweet. You know what I mean? Like everybody would just like, he would bring people to it. So it's one of those things, man, that, there's a lot of people who go unnoticed that are putting a lot of work in every single day, like myself. Like it takes a lot of work every day to go through this. So I've always said, man, like if I can use my platform, just don't abuse it. We can all grow, we can all become something, and we can all make a change. Like, why not use a free? So think about this, man. This is a free app. We're here talking. If it wasn't for this app, think about it. We would be in crypto. We would never even like come across each other. You know what I mean?
that's
Like
true.
it's really
That's,
crazy, man.
I had a few conversations with other Web3 communities, and they're like, we just got to recognize that part. Through Twitter, we have the ability, or basically just technology in general, any platform, any social media, we have the ability now that it doesn't matter if you're in Japan and I'm all the way in New York, and we could just communicate. Now,
Right.
I noticed that Twitter is one of the most used space when it comes to cryptocurrency. So, yeah, but I mean, you want to talk about the chart, or you wanna just what?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, well, let me ask you. What is it really? Because for myself, as someone who is not only just a trader, one of the things I say in school, you learn so much. I took classes, man, strictly on like, if you know, it's called the Chicago, I think, Mercantile Exchange, CME. Trading futures on basically anything. I had one class just on that. But still, like when you get into crypto, just literally getting into the game, like you said, actually getting into the market, um, then this is really being out there is where you learn the most. You can take as much time as you want to study as much stuff. So I'm down, man. Because to me, it's one of those things where you really what I learned over the years, personally, is it's more about like just time in the market. Dollar cost average, and really anytime you see huge decreases, man, if it's something you believe in, it doesn't matter what the price is. So you're just buying it on sale. You know
Yeah,
and kind of just stacking cash for that for those moments. Those are the biggest trades you'll ever make. Like you can make a lot of trades on a day-to-day basis, but if you just wait for those huge decreases and stack until then, I mean, look at that. What is the chart on right now?
yeah. I mean, I just saw that. That was a nice push. It went all the way to like around 23.7 more or less, and now it's up $300, 366. I mean, if you want my honest opinion on it, the moving averages is looking nicely. It should continue pumping, but once again, it's all about possibilities when you come into the crypto space. What I normally keep an eye out is for this part right here, because when I see the MACD that already crossed, I don't get too comfortable with being bullish in the market.
Yeah.
And another thing is the fact that right here, The RSI, it's good, but it's too close to 70, which once again, I talk about it a couple of times. I don't know if you have the same ideas, but when the RSI is around 30, that's your oversold territory where usually is a good point to buy in. And when the RSI is above 70 or touching 70, that's your sell signal because it's when it's way too oversold and at any minute it could just drop.
That's actually so what are you on right now? Okay. So depending on what I'm using and depending on what I'm trading is what I go by. There are some things and depending on how long I'm gonna be in the market. Like I'll be honest, man, I just look at what's it called? The actual volume. The whether the sells or the buys are flipping. There's so I mean so many different things of the volume in just general um, that you could look at. But are you don't trade on investing.com, right? It's just a place to look at,
Oh
I
no, no.
imagine.
This is
Okay,
just
yeah.
a place where I use my
Yeah,
technical analysis most of the time and that's that.
cool, cool.
Yeah, I mean, you could like, for example, pull up the Binance chart, and it's just make it easier here because there's many options. It's like using Trading View, but a little bit more visual, if you may call it.
Yeah.
But
Binance is one of the best I honestly trade on, man. I definitely love it.
where do you trade?
No, I said Binance is one of the best I've ever traded on.
Oh no, no, no!
Yeah.
I totally agree. Binance is the best. That's number one, and on top of that, man, your funds is safe with the system that they got on there, which is called Safu, where let's say, God forbid, it gets hacked, you got nothing to worry about because they'll just put your money right back. So I think
Hmm.
it's one of the,
Interesting.
it is the best exchange out there so far.
I mean, dude, they're a powerful house, but they also started like a few years ahead. But yeah, man, especially when Crypto.com comes to New York City, there's gonna be a lot of people, inflowing, man. But I'll ask you, man, is there something that maybe a theory on this one, man? Do you think the BTC will take over the U.S. dollar, or do you think it will benefit the U.S. dollar in the long run?
Um, all right. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it's gonna be BTC exactly. It can be. It could be, one that becomes the number one world currency, but there is also other option that makes it a better choice. Like for example, I believe in XRP, I believe in Xstellar. So those are, in my opinion, just better option to use more as a currency than actually BTC. If they change the method of the, what's it called, the Lightning Network, where the transactions are extremely cheap,
Oh, yep,
yeah,
yep.
then okay, I'll agree with it. But it's like right now, for example, let's talk about Shiba. Shiba Inu, a lot of people love it. They were going crazy. Oh my God, Shiba Inu. Oh my God, they're gonna use it in a movie theater, as payment method. And it's not that I'm fighting the project, but I want to be honest about it and be clear about it too. Like, does it make sense with the Ethereum fee and how high the gases go? Does it really make sense for you to actually pay $12 on a movie ticket or 13, but yet you gotta pay $20 just for gas fee?
Yeah,
So
that's the
that's
thing. Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
I agree. No, I was gonna say I agree, man. Literally, I was just saying I agree with you.
So it's kind of the same thing with Bitcoin right now. If you do a transaction, the gas fee is a
Yeah.
little high too. So that's why I
Well,
really
yeah.
I see it more of like a reserve of value than
Okay.
anything else.
I think the lightning, yeah, man, lightning payment will definitely. I think it makes it not just faster, but also, like you said, much cheaper. But I think that I get into chat sometimes, man, and people right away think that I'm like some kind of Bitcoin maxi, which I'm like, bro, I have an NFT, on my page, but I mean my PFP. But for me, it's kind of like where uh, where you start, right? So you think about Bitcoin. There was many different ideas of cryptocurrencies in a sense beforehand, right? But at the same time, like whether it's 21 million, the cap, right?
Yeah.
You think about the different all the different miners across the world, right? There's a lot of right. There's some of the different energies that come. Like there's a lot of things that come in with Bitcoin, man. Like the energy is going to take to produce some of these Bitcoin in the future is what's going to make us have to go towards using energies like geothermal. Excuse me, like using geothermal energy the way in El Salvador they're using the volcanoes. Like think about it. We're going to have to use something more powerful than anything we know right now in 50 years or whatever it might be. So I think that like you're saying that maybe as a I don't know. For me personally, I think that where the relationship between the U.S. dollar and Bitcoin will strengthen is because you're not gonna sell out of Bitcoin into like another currency. Like no matter where you are in the world, like U.S. a stable coin, quotation stable is still gonna be like U.S. dollar more stable than anything else. If you think about it to a certain extent, So um, I don't know. I just think that like that sense, like it would kind of benefit. Now, I'm not saying it'll never happen, but I don't think it'll definitely happen in our lifetime either. Of like Bitcoin just being the standard of the world, like the gold standard, or the way U.S. dollar is now, like the reserve currency. Excuse me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And another thing that, like I even told, my wife is in the chat. And by the way, hello to everyone that's here. And um, basically, that's one thing that I was telling my wife. I was letting her know. I was like, babe, she doesn't really understand much about Bitcoin or what I'm doing or why do I invest and but I told her just like I told everybody else in the past, man, if you really look into what Bitcoin is doing, you're gonna notice that this is the future. And one thing that I don't know if you noticed, but during the pandemic, um, there was a point in time where they created a US dollar. Now that US
Yeah.
dollar was supposed to be start being sent out instead of the stimulus check because of the fact that the pandemic was so bad, they didn't want to risk anybody getting infected. They didn't want to risk the infection to continue to grow. So, long story short, all of a sudden, um, now I don't know if you know anything about the state coins. Have you heard of it,
State coins. What does that mean? Like individual U.S. states? You saying
bro?
or no? No, I have no idea then.
I well, see, this is the part where I'm gonna get a little cocky and I'm gonna show you a thing or two. No, I'm playing, man. I believe that everybody has something to teach and something to learn.
Oh, for sure, man. Of course.
Yeah.
Trust you. You can't. One thing I knew, bro, is you can't do it all. You can't. Even with myself, sometimes we quick comment. You want to be cocky, and it's funny. Like I mess around all the time, like to just be I don't say a jerk, but just be funny with people. You know what I mean, bro? Like here, I guess it's different. Like around the world, you don't really see the same way, maybe, but it's one of those things where you gotta be a student, bro, in this game because you never know. There's always something new. You know what I'm saying? But teach me for sure, bro. Talk to me, man.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna show you what are the New York's the state coins, bro. First of all, they are under the Stacks blockchain and the Stacks network. Stacks is another currency that came out a
Mm.
while back, and now people started adopting it. Plus, it's very cheap on transaction. And the first person that came up with it was the mayor of Miami. He came out with Miami coin. Then from
Mm.
Miami coin, there's another state which I don't remember the name, but they have their own coin. And now New York, which is where we're from, came out with the New York State coin. So, so
Yeah.
what my theory is, okay, yeah, it could just be Bitcoin, the number one, and rule everything. It could be XRP, or this is the big plan right now, which is let's have a different currency per every state. And then as you go to different states, that's the currency that you're going to need to have in order to use any type of money over there. So now this is the funny thing. I don't know if you ever heard of this exchange. Um, okay, coin. There you go. And this is the only exchange that has the state coins available. You
Mm.
see, buy Miami coin in minutes.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we're from New York, and the laws out here when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's a real pain in the behind. But this is the only exchange, bro, where you're able to buy the state coins. And unfortunately, we don't have any access to it. Um,
Yeah. I remember hearing the Miami coin when they, because I believe they have a treasure. They hold Bitcoin, which I believe they give back to each of the Miami city right residents on a
yeah,
yearly basis, or something like that. A small percentage of. I didn't know the other states were doing it, but one thing that I think is a theory of just mine that came popped in my head. If you remember, um, when not that you remember, but at the time, like before the Revolutionary War during the colony states, right? Um, there was different currencies, and one of the things the forefathers said, George Washington, whoever it might be, I don't remember exactly who said it, but was um, if we have, it doesn't make sense where every single state you go to you have to have a different currency, exchange currencies, whatever. Think about how the euro is actually a bunch of countries who got together, the United States of America. Like, that would be probably something that would put more pressure on the federal government to make one currency if different states or people are traveling through states, and it becomes just that becomes harder. But think about it, why would you have to swap a token from Miami token to and that's just a city, it's
yeah,
not, so it's one of those things where um, I just think that would make more sense if you think about it. You know what I mean? For the federal government to eventually make their own, but not for anything. Why would you want to buy the stable? Like, the whole point of Bitcoin, right, is not using that. It's a peer-to-peer network, not having that middle person like a bank. So that's the thing, man. Like, when people like, why would you want a city coin or or stake? And there's got to be a different way, maybe cheaper taxes if you pay your taxes to Miami coin or some shit like. And I don't know. I'm just thinking anything, but.
no, I mean, I don't know yet what's the final angle of everything, but I did notice one thing, which is this part, bro. And a lot of the state coins, their APY is insane. Like, look at this,
Yeah.
bro. This is the Miami coin. What's the
Wow.
APY? 145%.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy actually.
So if you could tell me, and it has gone down a little bit now, because obviously it's getting known, but when it first came out, bro, we're talking about almost like 400% APY. And if you
Damn.
see the other ones, even Cardano, Matic, their APY is like 4 point something, one digit. Never really that I know of, or I haven't really seen like a 3 digit coin as far as the APY. And the ones that usually have 3 digits that are like overly crazy, they usually turn out to be a scam coin. So, like, let's say, for example, a coin that comes
Yeah.
out, they come and
Like a
tell you,
thousand
oh,
percent.
yeah, 1,000%, 15,000%. Everybody gets hyped. They go, they buy, and at the end of the day, they get scammed. So, but yeah, I'm just trying to see, but I don't think I'll be able to actually see the other coins unless I'm logged in. That's what I was trying to show you. You saw the Miami coin, but I'm trying to show you the New York coin. Um, but yeah, bro. I mean, in the meantime, um, what else? Are you there?
I'm sorry, man. I was just quick phone call. Try to get make sure. Whenever someone calls you twice, man, family member, like, all right, what the hell's going on? But nah, I'm back, man. But again, with these websites, it's one of those things where with my page, there's a lot of people who have said from the beginning, man. They're like something as simple as the way I looked at the supply of Bitcoin. Many people haven't looked at it that way. I mean, supply of crypto.com. If you think
Yeah,
about it, there's 30 billion coins, right? They want to have 100 million million users by next year. That's only about 300 coins per person. You know what I mean? So there's not really. It's one of those things where like certain coins, certain networks are gonna make it. There's not a lot of these things. Like there's tens of thousands now. I remember when it was less than 1,000 cryptos. Like I think it was less than 500 at one point, man. Like it's just a lot of being just made, generated out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And a lot of
yeah.
these things are not going to last in a sense, like if you think about it. But this is for the NYC coin, yeah. Like that's
Hmm.
crazy, man. Start mining NYC Miami today, but can you
Yeah.
mine NYC coin in
But
NYC?
but let me warn you about this, bro.
Yeah.
I tried it, and I'm sorry, but in my opinion, that's a freaking scam, bro. Because it's like you go and like I spent what I needed to spend, which at the time was like $700. Bought the stacks,
Yeah.
send it to the contract address that they require, and it's like playing the lottery, bro. It's not like a regular mining system where you put, let's say you buy a machine, a mining machine, and that's it. You connect it to the internet, you make money, or even staking, you make money. So here, the way it works, you send stacks to a contract, and
Okay.
every freaking day you gotta, once the contract is activating, the mining contract is activated, you have to go and check like every thousand that got mined and see if you are a winner. If you're blocked,
What?
got one, yeah. So, so I was like, wow, if I would have known it was like this, I would
Yeah.
just freaking hold up and that's it. But and
That's
then it's
terrible.
funny because they have, see, they got the Miami, Austin, and New York City. And I feel like they're going to continue to
Mhm.
make more of
Yeah.
these. So
That's interesting. Well, they're gonna start with the larger cities that obviously have more population. Think about
yeah,
Miami, New York City, and Austin are three. Not only are they hubs in America, But they have a lot of people, a lot of different types of people. People have, and think about how many people come to New York City on a day-to-day basis from just the tri-state area, bro. You know what I mean? Let alone, places like Pennsylvania, further New England, whatever it might be, all the way from like Ohio, Chicago, like same thing from Miami. All the southeastern states, you're within like a 12-hour drive at one of the like most tropical, if only tropical places in America, continental states. So it's yeah, man. I'm not saying that's like for me. I wouldn't put money into it, you know, but
Oh,
that's just me.
bro, I'm honestly telling you, like the whole mining thing, in my opinion, don't do it. Like I already
Yeah,
tried it, and like the first month or two, man, I used to get up right away. I went on my PC and checked if I got the winning block because at the time I believe if you get the winning block, you get like about 20 million coins. So the way I was seeing it, if the utility is to be used in that current state or city, then hey man, uh, eventually it will jump to $1. So jumping to $1 and having 20 million coins, that's life
yeah.
changing for me. So it would have been
What's the
great.
supply though? You
Uh,
know,
that is good question. Hold on.
because some of these coins, like the supply is like insane.
Yeah. Um, that is a good question. Let me see. Because they don't even got this on Coin Market Cap, bro. Can you believe that?
Well, I mean, not really, dude. Like that's what I'm saying. Like these coins, like I can't believe like New York City even pushes these coins. Yeah, I mean, like they don't believe in Bitcoin, but they believe in a New York City coin. Like, what sense does that make? And what sense would that help New York City? That would only restrict it. Because think about it, you can make sales from New York City to anywhere in the world, including to in New York City. So, like, what sense would it make? You know what I mean? The whole point of Bitcoin is having, one currency. It doesn't make sense to have like 30 currencies or per city to my fucking, excuse my language, but thousands of currencies. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, think about how
yeah,
many cities there are, bro. Like, how many parts of just, think about how many parts of the Bronx there are. How many people are just in the Bronx, let alone the other four boroughs, let alone the rest of New York State. You talk about Long Island, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I can't believe that though. I, I'll be honest with you, man. I remember hearing about it from Miami Coin, but I don't like. I never looked into it. I never even knew any of this stuff was going on. Like this is kind of again, like I would love to hear people's like opinion on why they would buy this over Bitcoin or any other currency for that matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you
yeah. No,
use New York? You know?
and there I totally agree with you. You know, the only thing that, in my opinion, or at the time, what I was thinking was, shoot, having a couple of these is less than a penny, and
Yeah,
eventually they're gonna become more than a
I feel
penny.
that too.
You understand because
Yeah,
it,
it's so early too.
yeah, it's that's the whole point. It's early, bro.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
one
I feel
thing
that too.
that I learned afterwards when it comes to crypto is the fact,
Yeah. Throw all that shit out the window, whatever you know. I
yeah,
feel you. Definitely, man. Definitely. I made a lot of mistakes that I thought that the coin or something like that was dumb. And bro, Dogecoin I would trade, the volume was so high on Dogecoin. When it was like 0000, 000, I would day trade it. And that's a coin if I would have just held, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people could probably say the same thing with a lot of different things too, you know? So
yeah, yeah. But no, and also I don't know if you know the rules of the market cap. When you see
in
a
what sense?
if when you see a serious project and you're still early, and bro, that market cap is below 100 million, 50 million, that's the time where you want to buy it. Because then from there, the only thing you could expect is for that coin, that market cap to continue raising, and then the coin obviously also depends on the supply that it has. But yeah, from there on, it can only continue going up. Like, let's say, for example, if there's a new Bitcoin, there's only 21 million supply, and the market cap it's around 20 million to $30 million. If I buy it now, by the time it reaches 1 billion, bro, I
Yeah.
think I'll be I'll be smiling from East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah, I got. Oh, did you see what did it say the supply was? My fault. I don't know if I just missed that.
No, it doesn't
What
say
is
here.
it?
No, it
Okay, so
doesn't
it's,
say.
yeah. But that's
So
the thing. You think about how many people like are in those three hubs. Like, all right, someone from Austin's gonna say, yeah, you know what? I want to invest in New York City coin. So I mean, like it's kind of just makes sense also with these three different ways. So to me, again, just gotta get enough. Just like anything else, man. Satoshi Nakamoto is the same thing with Bitcoin. It's gonna be either priceless or worthless. Either people are gonna use it and believe in it, or it's gonna be something that they don't give a shit about, and it's not gonna be worth anything at all anyway. So I think that's with really anything we think about it. Like, I mean, if you it sounds crazy, but like even the U.S. dollar to a certain extent is like, I don't want to say, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna say it. We'll just go to the next. We'll go to the next one. Be
no,
careful what you say sometimes.
yeah, man. Like I said, it's just something that, and I feel like we all came here for the very same reason, and it's that financial freedom. So I think that at times when you see what might look like an opportunity, a lot of people have the bad habit of just aping in. So some of them get lucky, like a year ago, I saw a very legit project. It's called B Chain. Bro, I told my friend about it, and he invested about $3,000 in it. No problem. The difference between me and him is that obviously, since I need the money, I cannot just let it sit there and wait. So I got impatient. When I noticed it wasn't growing, then I went to the next coin. So long story short, while he waited, bro, he made almost $500,000.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. When you see a serious and a good project, then
Yeah.
what you want to do is you want to hold on, you want to wait. And that's what I kind of been looking for myself afterwards. Like that one chance where I could get at least lucky enough to get that. Even half of that, bro, and I'll be good to go. So
Yeah. I mean, bro, I feel you, man. My thing, man, is thinking about we're 2 years from the halving. We're 3 years from like another potential like bull run. You know what I mean? Like just literally stacking, slow, taking your time. Every time there's like, anytime you see a 5% dip, buy a little bit. You see 10% dip, buy a little more. You know what I mean?
yeah,
25, 30%. Like when there's huge decreases, man. These are the times really for this and the reason to make money, man. These volatility is your friend. It's not your friend when you're buying and holding. You know what I'm saying, to the top. But when you have U.S. dollar stacked, these volatile times is when I forgot who said it, man. But when there's blood in the streets, is the best time to buy. You know what I mean? When
yeah,
Bitcoin's down 80%, it still works.
yeah. Now,
That
my
makes
next question to you, bro, is this one.
yeah.
How do you feel about the stock to flow chart and the rainbow chart?
So you talking about what was it? Plan B's stock to flow chart.
No, this is, yeah, the stock to flow chart,
Yeah.
which, it has been quite accurate in the past. And this is the only time that I'm not even going to lie, man, kind of a little confused. But then again, um, I believe the halving happens four, every 4 years. So I feel like eventually, I don't think it's gonna continue going down here, even though we never really been in a real bad recession or depression. So that's another thing that I'm kind of looking at. But just logically speaking, and just looking at that there's more institution, bigger institution, and more adoption now. I told some of my friends, no, I don't think Bitcoin is gonna go to where the Fibonacci retracement is showing because there's way too many investors now comparing to back then. So if it didn't happen back then, what makes you think that's gonna happen now? So the stock to flow ratio, um, it predict it predicts pretty much when Bitcoin pumps, when it reached the maximum, and when it already reached its lowest. And this one right here is just showing me that most likely we're gonna see this right here. Wait, this event right here repeat itself right here, which
Mhm.
means we're eventually gonna go back to where we need to be, which is up. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
So, bro, I remember, man, before I got into crypto and I was still learning about it, like, between 2014 and 2017, the memes that I would see from 2014 and before about like up to 2020 and like some further times are all coming true, like very scarily. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, so I think that there's a lot, um, what's it called? That
just to
there,
flow.
no, the thing is that you think about how different it is. Like, think about this. In 2017, it was more about the supply and the people. Like, now we're talking about a lot of, it's more than just retail investors. It's think about the institutions, man. BlackRock announced the other day about Bitcoin. You think about the countries in South America who are their central banks are adopting Bitcoin. There's now 3 countries who have Bitcoin on their balance sheet. You talk about the companies in the S&P 500 who have Bitcoin in their balance sheet and don't plan to sell. Right? Um, it's a different game. I feel like, man. It's hard to go because it's a lot more. Understand there's no bailouts. You know what I mean? In Bitcoin, when the white papers were first introduced, I think it was like what January 9th, right? 2008, I think. If I'm not mistaken, some shit like that. Um, you know, there was a lot going on in the world, man. There was a lot of financial institutions right here in our backyard, in Manhattan. Where people were over leveraged like crazy, thinking that people are going to just sit here and the market's going to go up forever. And it's not even like this is the first time it's happened. Not only is it scarily going to happen probably in the near future, but you think about what happened in the 80s. There's been many crashes into many different currencies beforehand.
Yeah,
So, for me, I think that we are in a different game where it's about stacking your satoshis, because understand there's only so long you can keep it below a certain line. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, I can't sit here and tell you it's going to be this amount tomorrow, or the next day. I don't think anybody can. But the point I'm trying to make, man, this is a whole different amount of money. Like, it's now on the radar of institutions that were calling it for money laundering and criminals and all these different things beforehand are now utilizing it. So in a sense, like, that's why I say, if you don't know what it's not you, but like second person, like if you don't know what Satoshi is, and shout out to anybody here listening to us, man. Make sure you. One thing I don't do enough in YouTube, smash the like button, right? Make sure you share it in other platforms. And if you know me on Twitter and I don't follow you, definitely give me a shout out and say you heard from here on Wadi Space, man. So, um, For me, it's just a different ballgame, man. There's something that I will be honest with you, bro. I think a lot of people believe in it, including myself at a certain time. And I knew that there would be a way or a time where it just trays away from it, because you can't just. It doesn't make sense, man. Like think about it. The quote that I'll leave with before I pass it back to you is like, fiat has no floor, so Bitcoin has no ceiling. You know what I'm saying? There's an endless amount of countries pouring their money they just make out of nowhere into Bitcoin. It's like real estate on the internet. There's only so much land on Earth that you can purchase. Does that make sense? That there will
Yeah,
only be 21 million. So I think that the importance is just to zoom out, because if you zoom out and you compare, like by users of Bitcoin compared to like where the internet was, and then you see where like the amount of people who use internet today compared to that time, we're mad early. You know what I mean? So that's one of those things that you got to think about, bro. Like, right now NFTs are only used for PFPs. Like, um, wait till they're being used, right, for when you're leased for a contract, you lease for a house, you lease for any contractor send you something on an NFT. I mean, like anything can be. When you go buy a movie ticket, you're gonna receive an NFT, like you said earlier. It's cheap. Like, there's a lot of different things that are gonna be coming of this, man. So for the charts, bro, I don't know, man. I think that I want to answer your question, but my problem always, man, is that sometimes I answer without answering it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right now, if you think about where it is, man, you think about just the growth, of Bitcoin and all of the other chains or networks that might be under it. Not directly under the Bitcoin network, but just any chain that's actually building something. Like, let's say the Kronos chain, Solana, the Binances, the BSCs, the Tezos, and many other ones that I'm missing, the AVAXs. I can go on for days. Different things, different purposes. I think that in the short term, man, it's one of these things where if I learned anything throughout those years, is that BTC fell from 85% from 20K to 3K.
hmm,
And at 3K, I sat there waiting for 1K. And instead, if you just stacked up your Satoshi the whole way down, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Because now we're chilling at 24K. And if someone would tell me that a few years later, people will be crying about crashing to 24K, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. When you go through a halving cycle, man, it's a great thing. And that's the thing I think I've kind of moved from, man. Like, one of the things also, but to be honest with you, the amount of like stress and as 21, like it took a lot of time to be in a lot of spaces, right, and do a lot of different things, work a lot of different projects. Where the
yeah,
amount of stress, and as you know, bro, as a trader, it's a lot of stress. Like sometimes, man, you're talking about like you're gonna be eating good and not, or making a big difference. Some of how your day goes, and don't forget like that. I've had many days, man, where I made money, got too cocky, lost more money than I had made anyway, and then I affected my whole day with everybody around me. My whole attitude was negative. Everybody around me was that negative because of my energy I was bringing around. And it's one of these things, man, where you can just do safe bets. You keep building every single day, and you maximize this. Now, to go back to your answer, like I think we have to go back to that because think about this. You compare where we the you ever seen like the regular supply and demand charts? Like Bitcoin is meant to go up over time. The
yeah,
early adopters are going to see the highest gains, right?
yeah.
But right now, we're almost at that time where the next 4 to 8 years are going to be more and more of like, still going to have huge increases, man. But think about it, from 20K to 100K is only 5 times. You know what I mean? But from fucking, excuse me, like, from getting too comfortable here, bro, with you, bro.
Yeah,
from,
yeah, it's cool, man.
like,
Hey, man, we're
from,
all adults here,
cool.
so I
Yeah,
speak
cool, cool.
French too, so don't worry about it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, sometimes in the spaces, I just had, man, quick side note. One time when I first started, I had someone who was a family member who was a father. Like, listen, like, I like to listen to your spaces, but I have kids around, and if it's gonna be something where I can't have children around,
Yeah,
then I can't be in the space and support you. So, you always gotta think about every single type of person around the world, man. Different perspective, different just ideas. Not saying you don't, but just me, for myself. But anyway, I'll bring it back to it, man. I think that, like I said, for right now, how low can it go, man? 85% from 60,000 is what, like 15, 12, So if we do see a more decrease, yeah, thank you for pulling this up. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. When you see the colors, like in that dark blue, anytime it's been at that dark blue, has represented a low.
hmm,
So I'm not exactly saying that it can't go lower than that. But I mean,
But but
who's yeah? Talk
but
to me.
theoretically speaking, and according to the record, it's not supposed to go lower. Like if you look at the point here, you look at the points right here, you look over here again, then you look all according to history and data and the record, it always shows that once it's in this area, it start going back up. So we're just talking about theoretically. It's not supposed to go any lower. You're there, bro. Did I lose you? 21 got rug. Uh, bro, you still there,
Yeah,
man?
yeah,
Oh,
man.
okay.
Lord, you hear me?
Yeah, no, I'm like, did you got rug in YouTube
I
space, bro?
did. My bad. What were you saying, man?
Oh no, I was saying that theoretically speaking, according to this data and the history and other charts and what you were saying, Bitcoin is created to continue going up in value. So, according to the chart and history and the data, this pretty much is the floor, which means it's supposed to be going up from here. And then right here, we have, which is supposed to start the next bull run, which is 2024, and the next halving. And that's that. But continue saying what you were saying.
Yeah. Well, look at if you look back, man. See, each one is very different, right? You see
Mm.
you see that first one where those large two pumps are, and you
Yeah,
see the huge, the small but stacking period in that blue. Now you see the second halving, where that huge increase is, and then literally had a huge downcrease, but then still had a swing back up to like, what's that level? Like the light green? Do you see that light green level? Yeah, right there, right there.
yeah,
So for me, man, if you compare that to a little bit higher to the low we're at right now, almost, um, you know, my question is it's gonna be something, you know, it's who's to say that we don't stay in the blue for another year and a half? If that makes sense. I mean, now that blue is still gonna, if you look at it, it's still gonna be higher up over time.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not, you know what I mean? But the red or anything like that is just a much higher price now. What's the yellow compared to the the next halving? Excuse me, if you don't mind.
Yellow, it's about more or less the 80s, 70s, and
Right.
then
You know what I mean? So think about that.
the huddle term. Yeah,
Yeah. You know what I mean? So if you really think about that, you know, it's one of those things where um, whatever it goes, however it might work, you know, the next few months are definitely gonna be just like stacking time, man. Next 18 months, you know, whatever it is, like I don't
yeah.
know, you know, because who's to say? Like, if you see it reached that yellow point, and that yellow point seems to be almost like a median, but we never really got into like our reds either, if that makes sense.
No,
You know,
no,
like this having, you know,
and I see it here because
yeah,
I think that's what we most likely are waiting for, that big pump where, a lot of experts were talking about the three digits Bitcoin, 100K, 250K. And over here, we see that happen, then we see it happen here where it went like overly beyond hyperextended to the point where the red means seriously sell, meaning that's it, get rid of it. So over here, what I noticed is that it didn't go all the way up there, but it did a pretty good movement towards the upside, which this is the whole FOMO indication where everybody just FOMO's in, and they want to make sure they don't miss out. That's what FOMO means: fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So when you come into that stage, that's when things really start, like, how can I say, the market, it starts really messing with you because you're over here thinking, oh my God, I'm missing out on making money. And then that's when it catches you. And then that's when the drop start happening, which goes back to what Warren Buffett always says: be fearful when everybody's greedy, and be greedy when everybody's fearful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I agree with that, man. Mm, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, for me, bro, it's when you just look at, bro, um, when you look at, like, just again, and as you said, man, like, as someone for myself who had a lot of dark days in crypto, you know what I mean? Like, I've said it before in tweets, like, there was a time where I beat myself up, not literally, but like beat myself up, where I was like, yo, like, I'm so late in this, where now it's like, I've seen the development that I've seen the help that I brought to projects, like, we are so early, it's not even funny, really. You know what I mean? Like, the mass adoption hasn't even come yet. There's only 3 countries. Like, one thing we don't talk about enough, you know how many people I have on here that are from Africa, and they talk about, if they want to transfer countries, if they want to transfer currencies within countries in Africa, depending on which countries they're in, they have to pay another country. So some of them, like, I forgot if it was like from Nigeria to Congo, you have to put your currency first, and the French francs, like, one of those things that, and I'm not African myself, man, but even Akon had said it, like, until Africa's free, like, Africans can't be free. You know what I mean? And myself, coming from a country where, the currency is in a sense not only just manipulated, but any types of resources are stolen. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, this gives you freedom. It gives the people inside the country able to believe in something because they Bitcoin. The police can't take their Bitcoin. You know what I mean? And you think about, a lot of things going on just in the world right now, man, where it makes a difference. You think about, um, just a lot of shit, dude. Not for anything. Like, it does a lot. It really brings a lot to the table. Bitcoin is much more than just a currency to be traded. If that makes sense, man. It's really freedom in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, the only thing that I always tell and try to preach to even some of my friends, which one of them is over here, Deshaun. What up, bro? I've been my friend since I'm 36 now, since I was like 11 years old. And, I try to educate him on this too, because I've been telling him, like, look, man, this is only going to get better. The
Yeah.
same thing that you were saying, certain countries, they already accepted Bitcoin as payment. Like, for example, El Salvador is one of them, and they accept it as a main currency. So, what happens when every other country starts seeing, like, wow, El Salvador is really doing good because they accept the
Right.
Bitcoin as payment? What do you think that the other countries are gonna do? They're gonna come and do the same exact thing, and that's when the real fun begins, because those that started out in cryptocurrency early, that's when you're gonna enjoy listening to people like us that started out early. And by the way, bro, do you hear a lot of background noise from my end or no?
Um. Like, no. Like what?
Oh, okay, no, because like, as I call him, my mom is banging pots in the kitchen,
Oh,
bro.
nah. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Yeah, that's what we got cooking on our side too. So, besides that, nah. Don't worry. Cooking's regular stuff, man. It's that time of day and on our side. So that's fine, bro. Don't you worry.
All right. Um, and yeah, man. I mean, other than that, that's what I've been saying. People need to, like always, do their own research, not financial advice, but when we say do your own research, I feel like they really need to research the history and
Yeah.
everything and what is really going on with Bitcoin being the future, because that's the truth. Bitcoin is the future. Cryptocurrency is the future. And whoever feels otherwise and believes otherwise, I just feel like you ain't do the proper research. Now, the other question that I wanted to ask you is, what were your thoughts on first time in history that Bitcoin? Well, no, it has went down before, but not really. But first time in history that Bitcoin broke below the 200 EMA,
Say it one more time. The 200 what? What?
that 200 EMA moving average, exponential moving average. Like if you look at this
Yeah.
chart,
Yep.
it never really broke that before. So
Mm.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's when I said, "Holy moly, we're going down."
To be honest, I gotta look at least if I remember. If I don't remember what it was, and maybe I did once, I don't even know. So I don't want to comment on it right now, man. To be completely honest with you, just because I don't even know what that is, bro.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think unless you wanna add anything else, or you wanna talk about anything else, but I think for today, for being the first time, we cover a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
And
Well,
what's up? Go ahead, bro.
well, no, I was gonna say thank you, man. Because as you know, like you said, man, I have a space going on in 15 minutes, so I'll probably take some time. We've been over an hour in here as well, so I mean, dude, just when it comes to our different thoughts, our opinions, man, on what's going on, because again, the amount of people that reached out to me, man, just kind of talking about you, and I already knew who you were. You know what I mean? So it just kind of made sense. You know what I mean? So thank you for having me, like I said, in the space, because I got some research to do in my own stuff to go back now. You know what I mean? That I don't know, and like I always say, man, and you said it earlier, you just never know. We come into space, man, you're teaching me something, right? And again, that's one of the things I will say, man. The blessing with this part was that I don't have to do it on my own, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
um, it's been something much greater than like, you have a lot of stress, not literally you, but like in second person. I say that a lot. Um, of just like doing this shit on your own, man. I think about like not for anything, even myself, how much it would take to put the time in and have the understanding where I could just hop in a space and have 20 different people talk to me and talk to everybody else about the different research they've done for that day, that week, with developments. Like, and you have different minds coming in. So you're talking about people from the development side, the marketing side, anything you could really think of, the artistic side. So, um, yeah, man. For me, bro, I think it's just pretty awesome, man. And I just want to thank you for having me up here.
No, bro. And like I said, and I want to thank you for reaching out and actually coming on. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit nervous when I was like, "Oh crap!" I started the channel where he at, but hey, man, like I I appreciate that you keep yourself humble still, no matter what, because yeah, when you start these Twitter spaces, when you start this YouTube channel, bro, it is a hustle. I mean, and I'm from projects, so I know all about the hustling life, and I'm not saying that I did it myself or anything, but
Still,
us in our own way, I believe that we all have hustle one way or the other. It doesn't necessarily mean that you gotta go sell the wrong things or gyp somebody to be considered a hustle, um, or a grind, if you want to call it that way. But I feel like, man, there is so much hard work
Yeah.
when you start as the new guy in town, literally. Especially when there's so much other competition out there, and when you start feeling like, why would people listen to me when there's people doing it better than I can? So I appreciate you, bro, for that.
Thank you, man. Again, as long as it's funny, man, because it's so funny. I feel like maybe that's a Bronx thing, man. But anytime I tell someone like, listen, like, I'm a hustler. Is what I do. The first thing they think is like I'm a drug dealer. I'm like, no, no, no. Like hustling to me, what I mean, it's a little bit differently. Like, what that means, like you're getting up every single day, and putting the work in. It means you're grinding, like you said, whatever it might be. It's just a different term, but 100%, bro. I agree with you, man. And hopefully, we just keep growing, man, through whatever it is. So, like I said, man, shout out to everybody that's been listening here. Make sure you not only subscribe to this channel, man, but also put it out there, retweet it, because you never know who could use this chat. You know what I mean? Who, whether it's a family member, a friend, or just one of your followers, doesn't have to be a chat with just me in it. I'm saying there's any one of a lot of these chats, man, that can make a difference in someone's lives, and that could be the first introduction, excuse me, into something that's much greater in their lives. So again, brother, one last time, man, I appreciate you for your time, bro. And can't wait for the next one on Twitter.
Likewise, yeah, definitely, man. And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad that this time I didn't have to say, I hope there is a next time.
Of
So,
course,
yeah,
bro. Of
bro.
course.
Nikki Cali say here, I agree. We are all early. That's why I'm here to learn and teach my kids. I really appreciate that, Nikki, and everybody else who stay here.
For sure.
And my usual followers, I appreciate the love and support always. 21, don't go nowhere yet, bro. I am gonna end the live stream, but I wanna holler at you for 1 second.
You got it, man.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good one. Take care. Have a blessed day, and goodbye.
Enjoy, everybody.